We have the gigantic attack on the black king from KingsCrusher. Closes it up a little with the pawn to e5. Now Libby assembles his own attack down the d file. Offers the trade in the rooks. Ooh, and we have his king under attack, and KingsCrusher is forced to concede back a square. We have a new plan. Libby quickly steps in to defend. Trading queens now. That really weakens KingsCrusher's attack. Libby back and forth, save some time. KingsCrusher evading the checks quickly. Down on time a little bit. Libby takes the pawn, 2-pawn lead. KingsCrusher retains his attack. Pawn's coming off the board here. We have the rook and the king together attacking. Very effective at this point in the game, perhaps. KingsCrusher trying to reduce his deficit. Offers the rook trades, thinks about it for a split second, decides not to trade. Libby's got that passed pawn on the c file, and we have 4 seconds left. It looks like it's over for KingsCrusher. Fantastic effort, but the attack was not fruitful. Okay, we have an Owen defense. Not so common. Preemptive bishop move here. Both players castle. A lot of pressure towards the center with dynamism. And the bishops come off. So often in bullet it's very tempting to trade your pieces off, but sometimes it's better not to throw your opponent off, make him think a little bit. KingsCrusher closes up the queen side. Kicks the knight back. Knight's attacking the queen. KingsCrusher is ready for the trade. Weakens his position a little bit, moving that pawn forward, but it's not bad either. That queen looks like it's free for the taking here. And Libby blunders away his queen. KingsCrusher's won 7 games so far. Once again with the dynamism. Slowly moving up the board with his minor pieces behind the pawns. KingsCrusher is threatening some extreme damage. Gets his rook opposite the queen. Got the pin on the knight. Ooh. Offers the trade. And all of a sudden 4 minor pieces come off the board. Rook's getting ready to double. Here they are. Knight retreat. Protected from the pawn. Attacks the queen. Trades the bishop for the knight. Sometimes people value the bishops a little higher. However, in bullet, knights may almost be better because it takes longer to calculate, where they're going. It's easier to get forks. Wins the pawn. I believe that was a pawn. Went by so quick. Offers the rook's trade. Libby takes the rook. KingsCrusher has a knight and a pawn for the rook. Knight shuffling back and forth, saving a little on time. Libby takes his time advantage to think, and that pawn is going to fall right on g5. Libby pushes the pawn forward. Both players now not moving so quickly, as this is an imperative part of the game. Libby's dangerously using his king for his attack. KingsCrusher brings his king up preemptively. Gives away the pawn on the a2 and takes the tempo to advance his pawn on the h file. Knight defends. We're going to see a king move, and maybe the rook will attack that knight now. Pawn steps in the way. I love it. Pawn's running up the e-file. Knight is beautifully defending both pawns. The king is overloaded. The king can easily take that d-pawn. Now, KingsCrusher ran out of time. He had to worry about that pawn coming down the a-file there. Libby with the white pieces again. The ready opening. Castles and gets his rook on that semi-open really quick. Doesn't take the bishop trade. Actually, that wasn't much of a trade. That would have been free bishop, I think. Kicks the knight back. Libby looking pretty good with his strong center. KingsCrusher pushing up the board a little. Libby trying to get rid of KingsCrusher's central influence with that dynamic bishop on now h8. KingsCrusher dominates the center somehow in this bullet game, has managed to control the center all of a sudden. Libby kind of fighting back now and regains control himself. Very exciting game over here. KingsCrusher with a mere pawn lead. His king getting attacked. KingsCrusher saves his pawn on 7th rank. I'm being challenged. And I don't have my mouse, so I'm going to have to decline this one. John Micah, one of the most talented young players I've ever met in my life. So the queen hops off the 7th rank. Now KingsCrusher just following that queen right around the board, and Libby's looking 2 seconds behind on time. KingsCrusher gets his rook on the semi. Queen moves down, rook moves. A lot of rook movement here, trying to reposition in a offensive manner. Both players are going for it. Offers a queen trade out of desperation. Pawn comes off. And now we just have a mouse battle, see who's quickest. Libby gets checked to death. Extremely exciting game. Very back and forth. KingsCrusher with his opening here. English attack. Benoni. He accepts. Pushes the pawn. KingsCrusher does not get his next pawn taken. Now we have a sort of unorthodox attack. Maiko severely wants to take some games off me. Oh wow, KingsCrusher takes a huge lead, taking that rook and a pawn up, and Libby just has had enough. Holy crap. Libby wants the white pieces again. We have a Sicilian. Pin on the knight. We double the pawns. Queen stays put. KingsCrusher playing defensively for now. His dynamism is working well for him. Sort of makes Libby appear almost overextended. So now KingsCrusher is attacking the queen, hops in and takes a free piece, a free pawn I mean. Loses the queen. Now we have, all of a sudden, KingsCrusher is up a queen to a rook and a knight. This is almost even, I would say. Pieces gathering up on the d6 square. Libby's bishop's being pushed away. Knight moves in. We have a large swarm of major and minor pieces on Libby's king here. Libby responds by offering the knight trade. A very good plan in my opinion. Bishop steps into action. Ooh, pawn's walking away here. And he had to do something about the pawn, but Libby ended up getting checkmated as a result. And I think the games are over. KingsCrusher ends with 10 wins. Libby's taken 5.